So today they asked me to come speak to their Women of God club at Lamar High School. These students have started a Women of God club, and they were like, if you'll come meet with us and speak with us, we would really appreciate that. And I thought, okay, cool. So I said, let me get you guys Chick-Fil-A. And they're like, oh, okay. So I got them Chick-Fil-A. And I arrive on campus, to do the whole check-in process. You got to give them your ID. It's just a lot. And so I finally worked my way to so I'm sitting with them. It's me. It's about 5 girls. Kaylee came with me. And we sit there for about 6 minutes and they're like, okay, well, thank you so much for lunch. Are you ready to go speak now? And I go, what? Are we not going to just sit here? And they're like, no. You're speaking for our organization next door. And I go, what do you mean next door? And they're like 50 to 60 girls who come. And I go, what?
You should have asked some clarifying questions. You said yes.
I went next door and I'm giving a 15-minute talk to 60 wonderful girls. I think there's between 50 and 60 girls there. And I'm so impressed. And to be able to speak into their lives is such an honor. But for real, I just look at Kaylee and I'm like, what? I did not know this.
What's their connection to you through Olivia? Are they like, oh, Olivia's mom works at a church?
I think so. I think that Chandler, who's one of the leaders of the club, came to Women's Night and saw me up on stage doing a couple things. And She goes, will you come speak to our group? And I'm like, sure. I mean, how hard is it to speak to...
How many women are Christian at Lamar?
How hard is it to speak to 5 ladies at lunch? I'll bring the food. It should take about 5 minutes. No.
And sometimes it's hard to get on the campus. So it's cool that they let you in.
It is hard to get on the campus.
Yeah.
And once you get on, and first of all, like these boys were outside throwing a football and I almost got clobbered. And I'm like, oh, lady here, let me by. And I went into the bathroom. And these 2 girls were talking about, I don't even think he really likes her. Like he was, they're just doing, it was like, thank you guys for letting me be in this movie. Kaylee was saying, this is like a movie set high school. And I was like, it is.
What kind of high school did she go to? Was it small?
She went to like, okay. It was smaller. It's a little bit.
High school. That's so funny. But I remember being like that in high school, watching high school movies, being like, this high school, my high school's not like that. Because we had 100 people in the class or in a grade or whatever.
I think Lamar has about 7,000. Is it 7,000?
I could not.
No, it's not 7,000. It's more.
That seems
like massive. I was like,
that seems unreasonable.
There's an underground high school too.
What's 8 times 4?
32.
It's probably around 32, 34.
It's more than my hometown.
Yeah, it's a big school. It's a big school. So anyway, well, let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network. Hosted by Jennifer Dennis and produced by me, Justin Kello. We're a podcast that was supposed to be focused on parenting, but we've kind of lost the plot along the way. Honestly, we don't know what this podcast is about, but we talk to incredible people who love Jesus, and our hope is to provide encouragement and fun whenever possible. If our lack of clear direction bothers you, we apologize, but no one is making you listen to this podcast, unless you're married to Jennifer. Andy, thanks for listening.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Almost Amazing podcast. We're so excited to be here today. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and we've got the best team here to talk about it with. Ashley, checking in. How you doing?
Oh, Jennifer and Justin. It's been a good week. I will say that my Monday, well, specifically Sunday to Monday, 12:30 a.m., I had a tragic thing happen. Not to me, but my friend's apartment. So I actually went to bed early on Sunday. Proud of myself. I get a call at 12:30 and I have a white noise machine, or my phone does white noise. So usually I never wake up. Oh, I woke up this time. And my friend's like, I need your help. And I'm like, what do you need help with? He's like, I have water coming out of my drain and my toilet and it's almost flooding my apartment. And I was like, what do you need me for? I'm a dainty girl.
Yeah.
He's like, I need you, please. And he was freaking out. And I'm like, okay, I understand. So I pull up and we start pulling the water out of the tub with trash cans. For like 4 hours till about 5 a.m. And he realized no one can help. He called his maintenance people. He called the apartment. No one's answering, obviously. I was like calling on emergency. They weren't of help. They said, sorry, you just have to wait in the morning. I'm like, well, what's the point of non-emergency? We didn't call 911 because our lives aren't at stake. So it was very stressful.
So water was coming out of the bathtub
out of the drain. Mm-hmm. And like the thing on top where it's supposed to let the water out? Once we took the water to that, water was gushing out of that.
Oh, wow.
It was so hard. And he kept reiterating how dirty the water was. I was like, listen, we can't be doing that. We have to have this mental lockdown and not think about how disgusting this is and just get it done.
Where are you taking the water? Like
to that front outside the apartment, and it's in a very slightly near the NRG. So you might not feel like it's the safest area. So then we have all the doors open and we're just throwing water out of the apartment. And I'm like, I'm not sure if anyone's going to pull up and say what's up.
No.
It was pretty difficult. But
for 4 hours.
Yeah. And he was panicking and I was like, I'm on the edge too. I'm like, be a man, because he's scared to call people. I go, we can't let fear stop us. We need to get this done, because what do we do? And I'm just thinking, if I can't, the only thing I know is do something, take action. So I was and then I also cut myself deeply on these 2 fingers, my pinky in my middle, with I was cutting fruit, apples and strawberries. 2 different times I cut deeply. So I'm trying not to get my hand in the water, because
that gives me incredible stress.
It was pretty stressful. But I was like, you should show up for people, even when it's hard, even when it's difficult. I know sometimes you just need help. And when you're in such a helpless situation, and I was like, Lord, give glory from this, because I don't know what I'm doing here. But we made it through. And finally at 5, I was like, because I got all the water out, and then
it didn't slow down.
It started slowing down. So what we did is we got the plunger, we unscrewed it, and we did the rubber part in the toilet in the tub, and the toilet finally was fine. It didn't get too crazy with the toilet. It was flooding, but it didn't overflow like the tub. The tub was just would be like goosh, and then I'll be like, okay, let's get it, and then he'd try to okay, let's call people, see if we can get any help. So yeah. So that was the start of my week. And it was just difficult. And just think about people in helpless situations when you don't have someone to call in those situations. And
let me say this, Ashley. I'm sorry for the yawn.
She's bored already. Jennifer's bored already.
You already knew the story. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't.
No, it's not a boring. It's not that. You're a really good friend. That's next level. There may be not that many people I would do that in my life for. And I think that people that are not that close to me, it would definitely have to be on a mission trip.
Yeah.
And I would have to behave like waiters, like the pastors use when they're baptizing. Do they still do that?
Not often.
They're little fishermen wait.
Not here.
Did you have on gloves?
Yeah, I had mitten, winter gloves on.
You mean?
So she wanted to trap the water in her gloves to keep it on.
It's what he gave me.
Not.
I also didn't come with shoes. I came barefoot with sweatpants. I took the sweatpants off. I had leggings under. Had no shoes. He gave me his work boots and some winter gloves.
Wow.
And I was just taking action. I didn't even know what was going on. I was barely awake.
Is he fixed? Is it fixed?
Yes, it got fixed.
Hey, listen, Ashley. I mean, to the side, just a little comment. I don't know that I would visit there for a while. Maybe until he gets some candles.
Yeah.
Some Febreze takes over. A good team comes in to wash that business out.
Yeah, I was thinking about all those things afterwards, but in the moment, I was just like,
dude, middle of the night stuff is chaos. I had that happen with our AC. It started leaking one in the middle of the night, in the middle of the summer. And I was like, no one's going to help me. But it's coming through the ceiling.
And you have to.
And we can't turn off the air conditioner for the whole night because we'll die. So it's just
it's what's her name? Mel Robbins. No one's coming.
Yeah. Well,
one's coming.
You turn into MacGyver, you're like, how do I solve this thing?
How can I solve this? Exactly.
And I literally, so what happened was the drain on there's an overflow pipe that for condensation that drips it out to the house. Well, that got clogged, and there's a pan that's supposed to catch it. That pan sprung a leak. And so, because it was so rusty, I was like, how do I solve this? I was trying to think about it. And God just did something in my heart and my mind. And he said candle wax, because it's it was a hole underwater. I was like, how do I get this dry enough to seal this?
That's good.
And so I took candle wax and
clever.
poured it in there and shoved it, and it stopped the leak to make it through the night. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's that's the part about being a dad, is you have to figure it out. It's there's no other adult here to
you're
solve
dad.
this problem.
You're the one that's supposed to do it.
That's the truth. You're the dad. She's right.
And my friend was the man. So I was like, wait, you're the man. But you're going through it. So I guess
when he has a family one day, if he does, you need to get him a good book of how to handle minor crises at home, so he's prepared.
With the man thing, I was listening to this video, and they were saying that
a TikTok, right?
That now it's interesting because in men and women relationships, you want your kids to date and grow up and get married and whatever. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that a lot of women now, because more women than men are going to college, they're having careers, and they made the comment that in their view, to have a boyfriend is embarrassing. Like,
Wait, I heard that too.
you
from
heard that
somebody.
too? And I thought that was so interesting.
I mean,
And the guy was saying it's getting to the point where women are, they're educated, they're independent, they can solve their issues, and men aren't catching up. They're not figuring out a way to be useful enough in a relationship to warrant having a relationship. I thought that was so interesting. And so I watched the video and I thought, wow, that makes me nervous. It makes me nervous for the future of families, for, and I started reading the comments. You go to the comments, folks, for the real pulse of the people.
I love a comment section.
Me
I
too.
love
The
a
comment section.
It's like a siloed experience. As nothing else.
I assert that the most if something's happening in a video and you want to know what people think of it overall, usually everybody's landing on one side of a comment section. And in there, it was like facts, truth, facts, no time, been hurt, no, never again. And my question is it the women that are changing with their expectations, or is it that we do not have, or that we're not seeing men raised in a way that is a good partnership with women? What do you guys think is happening to where now it's like embarrassing or weak for a woman to be have a boyfriend? What's the deal?
I believe if you are talking specifically about men being unable to do the things that they used to could do, it's because dads overall have disappeared. So they don't learn how to do those things. So they're kind of like, you can't really blame them for not knowing how to solve these issues or to, be what men used to traditionally be. It's also, I think women have been encouraged to reject some of those standards, and maybe now they're going too far, maybe in some ways it was healthy to reject some of those norms, but now maybe they've thrown the baby out with the bathwater, and they're missing the point of what a relationship is because they've rejected the whole idea of having a man to help them. I don't know. I am not in the dating world, and I'm also not a woman. So I don't really have, there's one person here.
There's only one person on the show.
Be in a good situation.
It's me.
To know how to speak into that on behalf of an entire population of women.
Do you see that, Ashley?
Okay, well, it depends on what you mean, because there's obviously the culture that we live in versus the church community. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like in the world, there's been, because of social media and different ways to escape, I think there's been a lot of pressure on men to kind of hold a certain standard as a man. And I think there's a lot of temptations out there in the other world. And there's struggles there where I think they're not 100% showing up for the families or willing to show up for their girlfriends because there's escapes. And I think the stats of cheating and stuff like that, I just think that a lot of women are disappointed in men not being faithful and loyal. And it can be go both ways. I don't want to just pin this on men. And so I do feel like women are getting embarrassed the amount of loyalty they have, and they feel like the men are not respecting and loving them, and showing up for them. I think that there's love, and there's what's it called, the love languages.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes there's not healthy communication on love language, and I don't know how the world as a whole uses that versus the church world. But I think that we don't know how to love each other well. And I think it misses sometimes because I think men provide and do all these things, and women just want to be held and say, I love you. There's just so much miscommunication, I think, that happens. But I think that's even in dating relationships, what do you want from this dating? Some people date to marry. Some people just date because they want to have fun. And I think there's not especially now, there's not a lot of communication about where people are at. I think with the shutdown of the world and COVID, I think there was a lot of even our students, they don't have to talk things out. So when they have issues with people, they don't talk it out. They hide it. And it's you need to talk, but they're dating people, but they're not talking about things. And so it's how do you have a relationship with someone and you don't talk about things? And so I know that probably went down a different rabbit hole, but I don't see that in the students. They still have chances, they date, but it's the guys don't want to put a title on it. And so guys,
they definitely, right. I agree. They're much slower to put a title on it.
So I think that I do see a lot of women being independent. I'm very independent. I don't necessarily need help, but I know that the model of a family, I would love a husband to step up and lead me, But it's hard because a lot of times in my dating world, which non-existent kind of, there's a lot of men that it's hard to understand what they value and what they love sometimes in the conversations.
Right. And it's interesting because I was just seeing where I was like, did I make this up? But yes, USA Today said, yesterday was like, why are people talking online about why is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? So it really is something that they're talking about on the internet right now.
Yeah.
They also say that having a boyfriend does, well,
first of all, there should be a better word for boyfriend, because when you're 30 years old, calling someone a boyfriend or girlfriend feels kind of weird to me.
Well, what would you?
That's what I'm saying. There's not a better word, but it just feels so juvenile.
Well, right. I can see where you're coming from on that, but I think what they're saying is here I am. Here's my portfolio as a person. These are my interests. This is what I've done professionally. This is what I've done academically, and here's my boyfriend. And it doesn't add anything to, the plate of who you are. That's what the perception is. Mm-hmm. We all know that my husband adds a lot to my plate. He carries the plate, cleans the plate. I'm very thankful, but I just thought it was really interesting. Are we raising guys and women in a way that they value that role in in the heterosexual relationship? But I think we're in a more traditional setting.
That's hard for us to speak to. We're really
because
isolated.
a church is very much about a traditional family.
Well, children. Even our community, we live in a community that's really, really classically this is the nuclear family. This is what it looks like. This is
important.
I don't know what the rest of the world or even the rest of America looks like when it comes to dating, but I think that we need to make sure that parents, if they're listening, I think that you have to. If my daughter was 16 saying it was embarrassing to have a boyfriend, I'd be like, great. Don't worry about it. Right. Don't worry about that. Of course it is right now. Now, if she's 48 and she doesn't want to be married, that's great too. What I'm saying? Some people are called to be single. I don't think it's good or bad to be in a marriage. So to me, if there's a whole population of girls that are feeling more confident saying, you know what, I don't even know if I want a relationship, I don't think that's bad. I think that there's
grow up in our day, little old lady here, when you had a boyfriend, it was like, oh, she's got a boyfriend. It was a flex. It was socially kind of cool that you have a boyfriend. Oh, that's great. Who is it? Blah, blah, blah. But I think what they're saying now is in this secular world, maybe apart from where we are serving in this church, when you say to a group of people, I have a boyfriend, it does not add anything to you. The expectations are low. They don't see the value add. And I think that's really interesting. But I think it's back to what the enemy does. Stills, kills, and destroys, wants to destroy, wants to destroy the perception of relationship, of marriage, of a breakdown of the family. I think the enemy's, one of the goals is to break down healthy families.
Mm-hmm. I still feel it's one thing to break down a marriage that already exists. I don't know if it's good or bad to prevent a marriage from existing. If there's a population of women who think I don't need to be in a relationship. Now, if they're thinking they want all of the physical intimacy without the commitment, then yeah, that is problematic.
Well, that is the problem.
Okay.
They want to be in relationships that they don't want to have the titles. They don't want to have the belonging. They don't want to have the commitment.
Yeah.
It's I get my needs met these ways, but they're not in a committed relationship because that's embarrassing. To have a boyfriend is embarrassing. So we're going to do non-commitment.
Yeah.
And it's not cool. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing to hear. I was like, good gracious.
I don't think it's not interesting. I don't think it's even not a problem. In some instances, it's a problem. Like I said, if they're looking for physical intimacy, but they don't want to commit to a marriage, then yes, that's problematic. I just want to be really careful about making marriage be God's plan and singleness not be God's plan.
No, I completely agree.
And I know you know
I think
that.
Singleness can
and I don't think you're saying that, but I just want to clarify
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
I do. My concern is that people having a perception of men that is not accurate. It's overgeneralized and doesn't appreciate that guys are great. They're made by God. They are, they're created by God. They are valuable.
And I think too, what's happening back to social media, I think a lot of times we emphasize the bad versus the good, So when people are sharing stories on TikTok or on Instagram, they're telling all the crazy things and bad things that have happened to them, but not people sharing how incredible their husband is or the sacrifices their boyfriend are making for them, you know? So I think that a lot of the negative, because I see that too. A lot of women are like, I'm getting embarrassed because more of he's cheating on me and he's not committing. So why do I put so much into this? You know, but I'm on like a different kind of like algorithm, I guess, where it just feels like women feel like they give so much and they sacrifice so much, and the man takes and takes and takes. And when it comes down to like, okay, getting married, they're like, I'm not ready. It's like, well, we've just been together for 5 years. Like, why aren't you ready? And then you find out they're directly DMing other girls and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's everywhere.
They have a profile.
Yeah, they have. And that's a lot too, like
on another
profiles.
dating app.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people that are actually living life aren't necessarily sharing it online and telling people the good and stuff like that.
I think you're absolutely right there too. And if they say, oh, well, my boyfriend's wonderful, he's committed, we're in a great relationship, they're going to get killed in the comments. Yeah. That's so good for you. I'm so glad you've got that.
Yeah.
You know, lucky, you know, thanks for sharing that. It's a lot of sarcasm. It's not like, oh, we're so excited for you. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was really interesting on the tails of your crazy situation with the plumbing. So Justin, how are you doing?
So I'm trying to get your AC going because you said you're dying. And the person's asking me, what is the room number? I'm like, I don't know what the room number is.
This room?
Yeah, I have no clue. And this is where I live. This is my office.
I don't know what room we're in. We're in the studio.
I told him to pray about it and he'll figure the Holy Spirit will lead him.
It's very warm in here. It's very warm. I'm already down a layer.
About me, I did want to say something. Jennifer, you and I think, share a similar journey where we have spent a lot of time in our lives making changes to our exercise routines and our diets and things like that.
I like where this is going.
Trying different things. Here's my question for you. Are you like me in that as soon as you make a change, a small change, here's what I'm talking about. I watched several TikToks. I really researched this. I watched several TikToks about intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try this out. Like, I'm going to do this. And so I watched another video on TikTok, which had been true, that talked about how our bodies are made to be a little bit hungry sometimes. 3 meals is kind of like, it was kind of like propaganda from people selling food to be like, you need 3 square meals.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, let me just skip breakfast. I was like, I don't need it. It's just oatmeal and I'm not even, who cares? And so I just like extended my fast to lunch. It's been great. But I'm like, okay, so I've started skipping breakfast. So by Thanksgiving, I'll lose 40 pounds. And then by Christmas, I'll be down a good 75. Like, do you just assume that the change should be happening right then? Because my brain is so broken that as soon as I make the smallest change, I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to be a different person in 2 months.
This is all going to,
this is going to change my life. This is going to change my life. I am so delusional that every time I make a change like that, I am just assuming that in 2 months, I'll be a different human. Am I alone in
I think that I used to be more like that. I think living life is definitely sliced off a part of that.
I'm like, by Thanksgiving, I can have extra pie.
Bushy tail. This is gonna, no, that's not.
I was like, I would be so thin. It's gonna work.
I remember some of our friends, they were putting everything in the fitness app, and the fitness app will say, if you do this every day until X day, you will have lost 32 pounds.
Oh.
And they did it. And at the end of X day, they're like, I'm down 5 pounds. Fitness app, you kill it. You know, you were wrong. But I do hear a lot of good things about intermittent fasting. It is not the fit for me, and I have a few real reasons why.
Yeah.
But I do think it's one of the ways to get it done.
I was surprised at how easy I can make it to lunch without thinking about food.
From 7 to 11 is really actually pretty easy for me. But for some reason, my stomach turns into it is a scorpion's lair.
Yeah.
And is that a thing?
I don't know what illustration you're trying to make.
Know, but I know a scorpion. I know a layer. Put it together. We have a scorpion layer.
Yeah.
I am visually seeing it.
It is burning. My stomach burns. It hurts. I'm having to like get Tums. It's awful.
Like acid reflux?
Yeah, it's like acid in my stomach.
When you don't eat?
When I don't eat. It's like my stomach goes south.
Let's eat some Tums. Just pop some Tums and keep rolling.
Right. And I wanted to do that, but it just hurt all the time.
Eat?
So now I just eat a little bit for breakfast. I try to stay in a 1,400 calorie range. Mm-hmm. But I used to be like that. I would be like, if we keep this up,
it changed my life.
I can finally, I'm going to go ahead and buy the pants. I'm going to go ahead and buy the pants.
You do your like reward pants. Like, hey, I'll get these nice pants and then I'll get in.
I've recently had a pair of reward pants and they were snaps. I told you all about those.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't button pants. They were snaps. So when you finally get like snaps like a baby, like a toddler snap.
Like if there's any tension, they'll pop open.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Like I got them from Zara
Confused.
and I bought them without trying them on. And I got them in my size and I thought, this is going to work. And I try them on and they're quite tight, right? Really tight. And they're snaps. And they're not like a button or like 501 jeans. They're like a little baby 2-year-old snaps pants.
Wow.
And it's 2 snaps and then a draw tie.
Are you wearing them yet?
Yeah. But I will say,
it's precarious.
After lunch,
every day you're very delicate. You're very careful.
Snaps open on it.
After lunch, you sit down and somebody's got an eye out.
Yeah. I just recently went to my closet, and if you're like me, you have a corner of your closet that becomes bigger and bigger of like clothes you want to wear.
Yes.
But they won't.
I wish I could wear those.
They won't fit anymore. And you hold on to them for years and years and years.
And
I finally just dumped them.
Did you dump them all? Because my
I was like, this is who I am.
Andy's like, look at all the clothes you have. I'm like, there's one shirt in there I can wear and I have it on.
Yeah.
It's like none of those shirts fit. I will not wear any of them.
But
then get rid of them all.
We don't want to commit to that.
I may need them. I may need them on one day. It's a theme. It's a color. One day. But I know what you mean. It's like, oh, but I finally got into those pants. I'll have to wear them on the next show.
I got another story about me being big. And it's just, I'm sure there's big people out there. So
I like how our show has moved from weather into Justin's.
So recently our church is doing this push where we're working to get people excited about a new campaign we're going to do in the spring.
Yes, very exciting.
And one of the things we're doing is we're throwing these tailgate parties. And they bought us all these really cool jerseys, like actual football jerseys. You said you got one, right?
Yeah, I gasped because I was like, where is mine?
Oh,
because I work with students. And so
you don't really wear it. Yeah.
Are you wearing yours without a shirt under it?
I cut it off right here.
Like Justin, you're like the star of the show.
But it's a real football jersey. I've never had a jersey with my name on it. So it's like the first time. But it's like our name on the back and the year we started the church, which is really cool. But I take it home the first day and I like get it out and Kristen's like, oh, good Lord, that's huge. I was like, I put it on. It was like snug. She goes, oh, never mind. She's like, it just looked bigger than you needed.
It's an illusion. It's the holes in it. It looks
that color royal blue can be really. I was like,
this is the size I needed. Thanks. And then one more story about this. In college, I was in a play, and for some of the people in the play, they had to be padded up to look bigger. Like it was just their character was like an older person with like a paunch or whatever.
Yes.
And so it's the first day we're on our costumes. We're all like, oh, you look funny. Because it's all like 18th century stuff. And a couple of guys had the padding on. I did not have the padding on. I did not need it. But this one.
Somebody on the team was like, Justin, you can wear padding if you want.
This one actress was like, oh my gosh, everyone looks so cute. And Justin with your padding. I'm like, and she like touched my stomach. I was like, no,
touching the merchandise.
This is all real, sis. This is all real.
I was born for this.
She was obviously mortified.
No,
she did. She patted my tummy because she had just interacted with somebody else who did have
a noise?
it.
You're like,
no, but
Pillsbury Doughboy.
It was just so. I will never forget that moment and the look on her face. And I was like, it's okay, it's fine.
It's fine. Can we just move on from this moment? Can we fast forward?
Yeah, that's a great memory.
Well, sure. I'm excited that you're intermittent fasting. It's supposed to be really good for your health either anyway.
I mean, I'm just surprised that I don't care about breakfast. I thought I did, but I don't. So
it really is
not getting me going. I don't know.
I just needed to fill my stomach because I used to get nauseous when I didn't eat breakfast. I was like, I gotta have something. And then like after day 2, I was like, I didn't even think about it. But it also gives me more time in the morning to do other things. Like I'm like getting the kids out the door better.
It's like, but for real.
Get the mic on.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're supposed to
but for real, are you eating oatmeal every morning?
I was eating oatmeal with blueberries and bananas every morning.
Wow.
And for lunch, I ate a turkey sandwich with apples and carrots and peppers.
It's getting healthy.
What kind of?
I know, and I'm still not losing weight. But that's like been my life for.
Maybe no bread.
It's probably the bread. It's just like, what apple? Gala apples. The best. But when I started Weight Watchers, that's what did it. Weight Watchers.
Honeycrisp.
Weight Watchers and like calculating everything. It just got easier to just eat the same thing over and over instead of thinking about it.
Like I'm stressed right now that what are you eating for dinner? Like it sounds like you are under 1,500 calories a day.
I am. Yes, I don't drink like that's diet. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I just eat. We don't eat healthy for dinner. We'll eat like pasta or a burger. Like it's not like health food. But yes, the rest of my meals are pretty healthy.
But even if you're giving yourself a 800 calorie dinner,
I guess
you've got like a 400 calorie
the hard part is like
lunch.
the heavy dinner.
Yeah,
that you
heavy
sit
dinner
in.
maybe. Maybe I
And
should
then
skip
a
dinner instead of
200
breakfast.
Usually they
That's
say
1,400 calories.
it's better to go
Justin.
to bed hungry
Maybe I should skip dinner instead of breakfast.
because then your
Probably
body's gonna work off what you had earlier.
I like to go to bed.
Or a balanced meal carb.
I like to go to bed
I have
real
to
full.
go to bed with a little bit of food. I have a little bit of nighttime with my nighttime vitamins, and
What's
I
that
can't.
mean? You had a nighttime with a nighttime
I like
vitamin?
a
A
little
little
snack.
nighttime vitamin. I have to have a snack because I have to swallow pills with food because I get stuck in this section of my throat. And I tried to talk to my doctor about it, and he said that mechanically I just didn't know how to swallow. Which I'm like, let me just say this:
How do you know?
if there's one thing I'm pretty good at doing,
It's
it's swallowing food.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's the mechanics of your swallowing. But anyway,
Do you do it
it'll
with
get
water?
stuck. I have a real anxiety about a pill getting stuck in my
You could
throat.
do it like the
Do you
dog,
drink
put it
water?
in peanut butter and you just lick it off the spoon.
Hmm?
Do you drink water when you do
Yeah.
it?
But I
What?
need I drink a soda. I don't
Drink water.
I don't know, Ashley. I can't get.
Because the soda I've
Let me
had the
explain.
experience, it gets stuck.
Let me say this: kids in the 70s, we were only drinking water on 2 occasions. Out of the
Yeah, the hose.
Out of the hose in the
backyard.
or
Heard of that
with
one.
medicine, and it was always just a little bit of warm water, like from
Get
the
a good cold water moment.
no,
But
but
yeah.
like it made
Do you
it to
drink
where
water now?
yeah, not as
Jennifer.
much. But what I'm
Drink-
trying to say is like when I drink water and pills, if I take that together, total gag reflex.
But
I
if you have
cannot get them
even
down.
cold water,
Yeah, I can't get it.
you need to
it's like
mentally
the
tell yourself
water.
you love cold.
It's
you
the
love
mental
water.
thing. But
You say you
so
love water.
let me say this.
Maybe
so
it is
I
just swallowing
have-
mechanics.
So I do eat 3 Triscuits at night to get all of my nighttime vitamins
Triscuits?
down.
A dry cracker makes it easier for you to
But
swallow
Jennifer,
food.
none of this
My
adds
soda.
up. I'm gonna say
Oh,
I'm
it's
taking
soda.
notes and it's not adding up, sister.
This is going to
Triscuit
be,
helps
I'm
you?
going to be explaining to people for the next 6 months why I'm
Triscuit is the most
Dry,
rough, difficult
gross.
cracker that exists.
No disrespect to Triscuit lovers.
It is like
I
a
was
wicker
hoping they
basket.
would
It's like
sponsor
eating a piece
us.
of a wicker basket.
the end of the sponsoring
Yeah.
of Triscuits. Triscuits
Squirrels-
are delicious.
What?
Especially the roasted herb Triscuit.
Jennifer.
But I'm not eating the whole blasted cracker at one time.
Blasted.
And it's
That's
just like,
crazy.
I'm just taking off a little section. It gives me
Mhm.
just enough food. And then I swallow and then swallow
Tell
my
me the
pill.
order of how you do this. You're
Okay.
kind of explaining it, but I'm confused.
I eat a little section of the Triscuit. I chew, in the middle of chewing it up, I'm right about to swallow it.
She's
your mouth
tricking her
is like,
brain. She's tricking her brain.
Now. I'm swallowing now.
Yeah.
And I put my little melatonin in there and it swallows it. It's beautiful. And then I have a little sip of my drink, which is frigid and excellent. And I have a little sip of that. And then I do the same thing with my other little nighttime vitamin. It's my ashwagandha or whatever I told you,
I know that
ashwagandha,
one.
whatever that is.
What about sparkling
thing.
water?
Or
Would that be
that-
Yeah, I
better
could
than
do sparkling
soda?
water. I could
Sparkling
do
water
that.
is
It would be
great.
fine.
Water
Something
is
about
so-
soda. Something about
The fizzy
bubbly
yeah.
is a thing for me.
See, I can't.
Ashley,
do
you're
that.
making the bubbly face. You're
I
making
can't.
the.
I can't.
You don't like
drink-
bubbles?
No. I'm fine with the bubble. I just can't drink a soda with my vitamins. Like I take a bunch of vitamins at night.
What's
I could
your
not do
favorite
a soda.
vitamin? What is your go-to vitamin?
No, I don't know.
You can't say multi.
I don't know what it's called. It's like when I did CrossFit, I used to do CrossFit, and it's a vitamins they told me to get, and so it's 6 big pills,
Oh,
and then I
What?
take iron and magnesium and apple
Does your
cider
throat
vinegar.
hurt?
I take a lot,
I take magnesium.
but I just like water gets it good for me. That's what helps me. But I
kinda
can't do
have to
soda or
move
get
on
stuck.
because we're becoming the supplement show.
Yeah.
But I do like the ashwagandha stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't
That's
you do gummy versions, or that's not the same?
I can look at that, but I would have to eat like 64 gummies
Yeah.
to get up to the
Whoa,
the
whole bottle's gone.
Giant
They taste
glob.
really good. My apple cider vinegar. I
would-
take pills
I would
and gummies.
cross over the diabetes line pretty fast.
Yeah.
How you guys want to know how things are going with me?
Yeah, we did.
I wanted, that was
Sorry, we
my
forgot
question.
to
I do.
ask.
Yeah, I
Yes.
forgot.
Yeah,
I
please,
feel like I
Jennifer.
need to-
How are
What's
things
going
going
on
with
in your
you?
world?
On Saturday, we decided on a car for Olivia. As you know, hers just totally stopped working on 290, died. Catastrophic engine failure.
Yeah.
By the way, that matters because that means your engine is over.
Yeah.
So I go to, and I will not name the name of the place, but
Okay.
this is my frustration. And Andy and I are both praying about this because we knew we had to get her a car. We knew we had to figure this out. But the last thing you want to do while your child is going to college is pay for another car while they're at college.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
That's
So,
It's a horse.
so we were looking around at some other at options, and we decided on a Nissan Rogue. It's a reliable car. I've read up on all of it. And so I went up to the dealership Saturday morning, all bright, bushy-tailed. I'm like, this is going to be easy. I know exactly what I want to pay. I know exactly what I can do. And I show up, I drive the car, I love it. And I send her a little picture. She loves it.
Didn't you have a Rogue?
And I haven't had a Rogue. My sister did. So I sit down with the guy and I'm like, hey, I think we want to do this. This is great. And I'm like, even like, this is the price you have. That's the price I plan to pay. And I'm excited we're here. And I know there's more for tax, tag, and title, but let's get this on the road. He goes, okay, let me work up a deal. I'll be right back. And so he goes away and he comes back and he has added 50% on to the price of the car. It has gone from a $9,400 car to $15,900. And I'm like, and I just am looking at the paper and I'm looking at him and I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened? Well, they have this required a package that you have to pay, guarantee or something that protects your car. This $5,000. Like, you're required to spend a certain amount and purchase this thing to go on your car. And I'm like, no. And I'm telling Andy, and I'm on the phone. I'm like, and Andy's on his way to pay for the car. We're going to get it all worked out. And I go, hey. Before you come here, realize it's like way more than we thought. He's like, just go. This is the point. This is why I'm saying all of this. I get up to kind of walk away to talk to Andy, to take a break from this situation. He goes, you're not leaving, are you? And I was like, I go, I'm going to talk to my husband about next steps. I'm just not sure about this. He goes, well, at least give me the courtesy of speaking to my manager before you leave. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, and I didn't want to agree to that, but this is the thing that got me. He figured out a phrase to make me feel like if I didn't speak with his manager, that I was being discourteous.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I didn't go through their chain of people that I needed to talk to, it was like I felt like I wasn't really allowed to leave, or I was a rude person.
Which makes no sense.
What would you have just like said?
What did you do? You came back, said, yes, thank you.
Y'all, I just took off running.
Can I pay more? Actually, I'll pay $20,000.
I took off running.
Pants Jennifer running out and I'll go.
It looked like a parking lot.
She's like,
where somebody just runs out.
Hey, get her.
I go, and I didn't want to say I'm definitely leaving, but I didn't want to engage with his manager. I go, well, give me a second. I just want to talk to my husband. Let me figure out what's going on.
Then did you leave?
Yeah, I snuck out the front. And I felt like I snuck out the front and I got in my car and I sped off. And I felt so like I'd done something wrong because he had told me that it was the courteous thing to do.
So you didn't buy that car?
No, I didn't. But so Andy meets me at another place. We get another deal worked out.
Is it better?
They're like, yes, much better deal. And they keep reaching out. Why did you leave? Did we do something wrong?
Yes.
What happened?
Scam.
And I go, you added 50% to the price of the car that I told you we had a limit on. And then they're even offering me a deal up till last night. Hey, this is so-and-so. We can pull it down to this number. And my question to him was,
why not the first place?
Exactly. Yeah. Why are you not starting with your best deal?
But
I cannot explain the stress of leaving there.
Feeling guilty.
And feeling guilty like I've let them down.
When you have no.
I know. I just thought it was really, I wrote text to them, which they didn't respond to. They keep reaching out. And at some point I'm like, hey, we're done here. We've broken up.
We're over.
We were in a relationship for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know how to end
nothing
this.
To do with you.
This is why I think people hate to go buy cars. It is the biggest rigmarole.
Oh, well, car dealers, like they have car salesmen. They're known as like slimy. Like that's what their reputation
you think they're
is.
Slimy?
That's like
I don't think
the history of the world. That's what they've been known as.
That is the history of the world.
Remember that one person that used to work with us sometimes? And I said, he's like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
I had a very specific reason for saying that. And a very specific type of
if you sell
the way
cars,
he was treating us.
It's okay. You're accepted.
If you sell cars,
you're different. You're not like the other cars.
We love you. But
you're not like the other
anyway, do you think I should have given them the courtesy of speaking with the manager?
Well, I wonder if they would have given you the better deal right then and there. Like if you had talked to the manager and been like, no, I'm leaving. They would have just been like, okay, I will give it to you. Like it's a game a little bit for them because they want to make money.
Off
and
you.
So
I just take
they may have ended up taking. I agree. They should have given you that deal to begin with, but they may have
then
taken
start
it off
with the best deal. I mean,
well, they're just going to try to milk money out of you as much part with any business right now. Everyone's just trying to make money to survive. Everyone's in a survival state.
Well, I don't know about survival, but thriving. The CEOs want to thrive. But
we finally found our car at this.
Probably is not.
Is it still a Rogue?
Yeah, we got a Rogue.
Dude,
another Rogue.
Every time I hear about a Nissan Rogue, it's so funny. There was a show called Heroes back in the day. It was incredible.
I remember Heroes.
One season,
Save
Nissan
the cheerleader, save the world.
Yes, one season Nissan sponsored them, and the cheerleader was asking her dad, like, "I'm gonna go." He's like, "Oh yeah, sure. Take the Rogue," and he throws the keys and it like zooms in on the Nissan logo, and I was like, "Okay, guys, like this is not subtle at all."
This is
because you wouldn't say to
take the Rogue.
Yeah, you'd say, "Yeah, take the car." You wouldn't say take the Rogue. You know,
but they needed their moment.
Take the 2009 Nissan Rogue.
Make that money.
Never forget how awkward that product placement was.
We ended up buying the car from a dealership that I don't know even really existed. Mm-hmm. It was an empty warehouse. We walk in. There's one desk
and one car.
And one car.
That sounds like a Truman Show.
We show up and it was really, they're like, "Oh, we're just moving here." And I was like, "Okay." And then when we buy the car, we're driving off and I noticed that I look back and the whole place is gone.
It's a mirage.
It was not real, but we got a real car.
Hey, that's good. And a good deal.
And we got a good deal. And we're really thankful. Yeah. And so I just want to reiterate, it's difficult buying cars. Yeah. It's hard. And I don't trust buying from people anymore. Yeah. And I know people are like, definitely buy from people.
Yeah, surely there are some used car salesmen who are not slimy. I understand that. But they have a bad reputation in the same way, you know, all professions, even pastors get bad reputations because there's like chumps out there that are doing terrible jobs. What do you think? Okay. What do you think is the profession with the best reputation?
That if someone tells you that I am this job, you immediately have full respect.
Yeah. You think more of them. You don't have like
the president. I'm sorry. That was just funny. I was kidding because that's way far.
Let's be for real.
Let's see. That's such a good question. What is it? I know people that are listening are like, no. I mean, I think sometimes nurses.
I was going to say nurse as well. That's what I was going to say.
Teachers have this kind of low key sense of giving back. Firefighters.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah. They're just in the business of saving lives.
Sorry.
Firefighters. I remember one time we were serving our ladies for a Christmas party, and one of the little burners got out of control and set off our fire alarm. And Anna Lauren had to run next door to the fire because we're right next to the fire department, and she ran and knocked on the door and, "Y'all, we're not on fire, but the fire alarm's on. Keep going." So they all get suited up and come over, all of them. And all of our ladies who are there for watching the children this is their big Christmas party. So they're all outside standing, and it looks like a parade line for the firemen as they come in. And these ladies are like, "Woo! hello, firemen!"
Objectifying the firemen. That's so funny.
But it was really sweet and funny. But I think firemen
is probably up there because their whole job is just to save lives. There's no sort of like policemen save lives, but they also regulate laws. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, arrest people. Then there's I think most everybody else kind of has a downside, but the fire people, and they're great cooks and they're good with big crowds of food.
Yeah. I have a question
for you.
For
one, actually.
They're right next door. I have a question for y'all that came up in my seminary classes this week that I want to know your perspective on. So we're doing through this one like spiritual formation class. Everybody shares their testimony. One woman shared that she was in ministry at a certain place and she had a hard time because she was the only woman in that ministry position. And it seemed like they had different expectations on her. Things like, the pastors, they could leave early to go to their family, but, she had an instance where they wouldn't let her leave to go to her kids' volleyball game because she hadn't finished some sort of running copies or something. So she mentioned like that was one of a million ways that she was treated differently as a woman in ministry. It wasn't even about the title they gave her. And so I asked the group this question. I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in this. I work with women. I want to continue to work with women in church settings. What is the best way, or what are ways that men can support and empower women in ministry, especially those that don't have authority to change a system?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about your peers. What are some ways that men
can support, empower, encourage, make you feel seen in a ministry context. And you can even give examples of people who have done it for you or what you wish you saw more of. Like what can we do to make you feel like seen and empowered? Because one of our people brought up a good point. She's done engineering and science background. She said that's a very male dominated world as well. Church work is very male dominated. She's like, it's kind of the same everywhere. Any women stepping into a traditionally male dominated industry is going to face the same issues. So like, what can people do to empower and like show women that we support them, specifically in a ministry context?
I always feel really supported. I really do. Yeah. I feel.
But you've had a long ministry. You know what I'm saying? You could have been.
I love our leadership here. I feel that I am. I feel like they invest time in me. I think there have been times in the past where I felt like they didn't want to hear what I had to say, or they didn't find it as valuable. But here, I really appreciate like Roger, Kirby, they're my leads, and I think they pray for me. They lead me well. And so outside of that, like other people on my team, I have great relationships with them. So I think some of the things that they are doing that help me to feel is allowing me to speak into spaces, valuing my comments, asking for my input. And they're so respectful. They're respectful. And we're set up in our system to where like they're very respectful for us as women. And they give us guidelines to respect our marriages, their marriages, to where we're not in situations that we have great accountability. So I feel really good about that. Ashley?
I would say this job and even my last job, I had really incredible male co-partners or pastors that spoke into me, and they didn't like identify that I was like a woman or emphasize it. They just wanted to know what wisdom I had, and they empowered me in what I had to say. There's also instances where you feel like you just talk and then they're not really listening. But here, like they're like affirming and understanding and taking action. I think action speaks volumes. And so when you have like your concern or you're worried about something or you're processing something with them that you see that can look a certain way, like they're really willing to change for the betterment. And that means like your words do matter. Because there's a lot of people that are like do fluff, like, oh, it sounds good. And then nothing changes.
Right. And so you get in charge of like subservient things that they feel like is not important, but they allow us to really step into important spaces and serve in that way.
Yeah.
But I think that, go ahead. I kind of interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I appreciate this church too, because they let me speak into things I even teach. My last job, women weren't allowed to teach in front of the students. And so that's really cool that they realize the Spirit's moving in you, and it doesn't matter who it is, but it's like God moving in you. So I've really appreciated that.
I do think too, like, I think in the past I've seen a situation where if you were emotional, and I think as I get older, I'm way less emotional. Like I just, thank goodness. Thank you for time changing that. And when you would be emotional, they really didn't know how to handle that. And you felt like it wasn't okay to be emotional. And you could feel in a room, if you got emotional, how you would lose power or influence in the room from being too emotional. And so I think that the relationships are so strong that they appreciate and understand if we're emotional, but still value what we have to say.
Yeah.
I can get a little emotional every now and then, but I really do try to temper that. And also like asking God to continue to give us wisdom for day to day where we're serving. And if there are spaces where we don't feel like people get us or listening to us, for giving that to God. Like, I feel like it's not my job to change the way someone behaves. It's my job to trust God with the outcome. Like I don't have to police I just give it to the Lord, and He gives me the strength in relationships that aren't as strong as I would like them to be. He gives me the patience in situations where things are not what I would want them to be. And that's really actually not happening here, maybe in the past in other places. But But that relationship with God is the most powerful piece of walking through difficult times with people who don't respect you.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I believe that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good am I at making women on staff feel empowered and part of the team?
Oh, are you asking us to give you a number?
Yeah.
I think you're really good at it.
Okay.
I think you're great at helping us feel like we're part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think you are, your score's a little bit lower when it comes to your sass level. I ran into Justin at the Fall Carnival, and he had agreed to come take pictures because we didn't put in a request for a photographer.
Yeah.
And I see Justin, I go, hey, Justin, thanks for being here and being the photographer. I'm so sorry we didn't ask for a request. Justin pulls the camera to the side and goes, you've never requested a cameraman at this event. Never. In the whole time that you've done it, never requested one. And I go, oh, okay. I'm so sorry. We will get that fixed. And then I see him at the next Fall Carnival for our CRMC. And I'm like, hey, Justin. And then I have a little smirk like, did they request a camera person? And again, the camera out of the face. Yes, they did. They request one every year because they're amazing and they do what I ask. And so do I feel like you like respect and honor us? Yes. Is there a lot of sass to wade through?
I would like to say that the way
yes.
you recounted the first encounter at your fall festival is greatly exaggerated. Greatly exaggerated. I said, no problem. Y'all have actually never requested a photographer for this. Like I didn't say y'all are the dumbest people in the world.
I think
and I hate
felt
you.
more assertive because it was so hot outside.
But
the thing that matters is that you showed up. So the
amen.
actions speak
Ashley,
louder
look
than
at
the
you with the
words
bow.
that
Look at you with the bow.
He
So,
cares the way
are you enjoying seminary? Is it going well?
It's going well.
You're still liking it?
I do still like it. Registration tonight for my next semester opens up for me tonight.
What are you taking?
So I'm taking Christian text and traditions 1. I'm taking Christian scriptures 3.
Okay.
I'm taking Greek 2, and I'm taking spiritual formation 2.
Wow, you're taking 12 hours.
Well, one is a 1 hour class. So 3, 3, and 1. So there's 10 hours.
Okay, good. Good. That's great.
So I'll have lots of insight.
Lots of things to share.
Lots of reading. I find myself reading at the softball field while Maggie's playing because if she's not on the field or if she's not at bat, I literally don't care what's happening. So I just bring that book out and I'm reading it. So, okay,
that's so good.
She's at bat and I just watch her go to bat and run the bases. I'm like, all right, I go back to my book. Because you got to read sometime. And I'm just like, I don't have time to do all this. So
balancing.
I'm reading wherever I can. What are you doing right now spiritually? What's going on with you? What's God teaching you?
Right now I'm focusing on the words of Jesus. And this week I've been studying the word of Jesus falling on the different grounds, where one's on the path and the birds take it and one's in the rocks. Yes. And it gets really excited fast. But, and I've just been looking at how does that apply to me in my life? Like, are the fresh words of Jesus being stomped out by my concerns? Is Jesus' new teaching to me being swept away by my worry about money or my worry about things that are happening in my day-to-day life? And so and Jesus is talking to the disciples and they're like, why do you talk in parables? And he's like, because you guys understand all this. I've told all this to you, but there's a little bit of a mystery to this. And then he sits down and explains the parable of throwing the seed out on the different types of ground. And so I've been thinking this week and reflective of what kind of ground am I? Am I, and one is about wanting money and putting other things ahead of Jesus. One is about not understanding and the enemy just taking it quickly because we're not understanding. And the other is, I think, worries and problems like choked out. And I'm like, am I being obedient to God? Am I the root that is allowing God to continue to put seeds into my heart and they grow? And like, it's supposed to multiply 30, 60 times. Like when it falls on good ground in our heart, it multiplies 30 or 60 times. But if I'm allowing my worries to choke out the goodness of who God is, then it's not going to multiply. Yeah. So I've just been thinking about how do I keep my ground a good fertile soil for the word of God.
So how do you do that?
I think we're looking at that tomorrow.
Applications
The
tomorrow.
Spirit hasn't revealed
That's
that
what
to
I really
me.
think.
This
Yeah.
is just the question for today, folks.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
How do you keep the soil
How do you keep you as soil fertile and
receptive to the words of Jesus? Ashley?
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
Really, it's aligning your heart with God. So, like at all points in the morning, because I'm going over the Old Testament people in the Bible and how God's intricately in everyone's life if they said yes to Jesus. And sometimes you always think of like your perspective and your timeline, and you want people to do this and that, but it's like God's working in other people's lives, and the way God's patient with them, like you should also be patient with them. Because even working with students, you just want them to get it now. But it's like God's timing. And so that's like sometimes hard because you want to rush it and you want to see it now. And so I think, again, like, because even looking at like, because it's like perspective of Bathsheba, we always look at David and there's like Bathsheba, like how it was hard for her in the sense of she had to be submissive to the king while her husband's away at war. And so it's like what it was like for her to be having to go over to David, being called over there, and like what she was feeling in that moment and who did she owe her loyalty to, right? Especially how everyone knew David loved God. And so understanding that and like someone's heart, but then God loved David so deeply. Everyone says that David was after God's heart. And it's just like, even in the brokenness and the things that he messed up, it's because he always aligned with God. Mm-hmm. And I think with making our soil always fresh and ready is always aligning with God. Even when you're kind of in a dark place in your life and you're frustrated and you're angry, bringing that to God, even though we want to hide it, it's like he sees it. So why? And I think when you're wrestling with sin, that's so beautiful. You can give it to him. Because sometimes you kind of separate when you're sinning, you're like sinning and then God's separate from that. But like bring that sin to him and talk through what you're going through.
right?
And it's like, that's what he wants. Your heart on him and like know that he's going to be faithful. And it's safe to talk through that sin with him.
That's such great insight right there, is talking to God about your sin. And I think you're right. A lot of us leave it. We're embarrassed by it. We're shameful. And I think the enemy makes us shameful when God wants to release us. Like it's like I've got to hide this. I'm messing this up. But really, we've fallen captive to it. Yeah. We're snared. We're trapped. And it's hard to say, God, I'm doing this and it's wrong. And can you help me? I'm so sorry. I don't want to live this way. Please, and we don't talk to God about it. We're like, I need to get this fixed and then I can be good with God. I need to get this in order. So I love that you're like, be transparent and be honest with God about what we're really experiencing.
Yeah. Cause even like in the beginning of Garden Eden, when Adam and Eve, once they ate the fruit and there was that shame, they hid, and God walked and showed up and was wanting to know from their heart, what's going on? Where are you? Right. And it's like, God knew, but he still showed up even amongst the sin they just did and committed. And it's like show up, like he shows up even amongst your sin. And you don't realize how big he is and how big, like how intricate God is in your life and how he can heal you and save others. We get so fixated on the sin and shame and we mess up, but there's light. God can use it to save other people.
Right.
But it's hard when you're in it, of course, because the reality is, how do you actually turn to him? How do you actually show him even though he sees it?
So I think that one piece of the soil is the first thing is confessing sin and being honest about sin that we're dealing with. Justin, did you have anything to add to the soil comments?
Just soaking up the wisdom.
Soaking up the wisdom.
You're a little sponge?
I think laying down the things that we tend to put before God is another part of it. If we have and that's exactly what you said with aligning your heart with God's. If my goal is something that God didn't give to me or is not ordained, and that's what I'm really fighting for. And I realized lately, this is just a really transparent parent moment. I'm realizing that for me, I learned that when Olivia was a small child, it really broke my heart when she was unhappy. Like it was almost like I couldn't survive it. When Olivia was in a season of unhappiness, it just wore me out. It killed me. And I realized that growing up, so much of what I care about is her being happy. Are you happy? Did you enjoy that? Was that fun? Was that good? And lately I've just been reflecting on how much have I focused more on the happiness than I have maybe too much. And how do I bring in new conversation of how do you think you grew through that? Yeah. Or where do you think in that you could have turned to God? And I'm just praying about the balance with that. because, I can't start over. She's a little bit older, but I can start to re-guide some of the conversation.
Mhm.
Now, Andy is happy to start with those conversations. What
Well-
did you learn? What are you going to do different?
Well, and that's why I will say this till I have no more breath. That's why kids need two parents, because as one unit, you can cover more of what a child needs than if you were by yourself. So like if you
True.
were a single mom without Andy's voice in that, yeah, your daughter would probably be overly obsessed with being happy and comfortable. Like she probably would be.
Right.
But with Andy offsetting that, she's probably got a good balance of, yeah, I should pursue what makes me happy. Like, of course, I'm empowered. You're empowering her to pursue that. Whereas Andy's pulling in the side of like, well, how are you? Like,
Let's
that's
be
why we're
responsible.
made to be parents together. Like, and if we're the same person parenting kids, they're going to have like unique issues.
And let me add, if you are in a single parent situation,
Right. I don't want to.
and I don't mean, no. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, if you are in that situation, God will bring mentors along for your children.
Yes,
God
yes,
will
yes.
bring people into your children's
Yeah.
life to speak life to them.
Mhm.
Like you're not left out alone.
Right. I'm glad you clarified that. Yes, my mom was a single mom, and like people come alongside and they fill in those gaps. But like ideally, if there are children in the world, they should have both parents invested in their life because of that.
That's
like
how
for
God
that reason.
created it. Yeah.
When that doesn't happen, God's able to redeem and fix and come alongside as well.
He's
for
so
sure.
good. He's so good
Yeah.
all the time. Well, man, I've enjoyed our time today.
Ashley, that's
I was
else
going
to
to say
say.
something really quickly. It is quite interesting though, because like obviously the goal is to grow, but like to grow is to be uncomfortable, and we live in such a world that's like stay in your comfort. Like everything needs to be like indulgence and be happy and all this stuff, but like to grow and to mature, it need to be uncomfortable and need to get out of what's your routine and be able to challenge yourself. And so it's like I think we need to like talk more about that with even for me for students like. If you're uncomfortable, that's okay. Like you need to grow in that. Of course, it depends on the situation, what that means, because that could be a little sticky.
Yeah.
But like saying yes to Jesus and being a believer is one of the almost hardest things you can do in high school. Walk alongside a bunch of people who are indulging their flesh all the time, and you have to die to that and not be part of that, but also love people through that and share the gospel. And so it is very interesting that we live in a world where it's like, be happy, be joyous. Like that's what you want. But then it's like the Lord has you in certain parts of your life where it's dependency on him through that growth and being uncomfortable. So
I think that's a really good. Y'all are not going to believe it, but I have a get to know you question.
Great. I'll save mine.
Okay. What is the silliest thing that you're very good at? What is the silliest thing other than chewing and swallowing your food?
That's good.
Which I'm very good at. What is a silly thing that you're actually very good at?
Do you have an answer?
No, I just found this question
just found it.
immediately
Yeah, you
about
were just
silly.
about 45 seconds ago.
while Ashley was sharing really insightful stuff. You
Heard
were
that
just
I mean,
too.
I
Heard
was
that
trying to get in there, but
too.
y'all were having such good conversations sometimes.
so
It's hard to know when to get in there.
Actually, I heard what she was saying. I'm just thinking, okay, let me just say that kind of the silliest thing I'm actually really good at is I make an incredible scrambled egg.
wow.
It is next level.
Mhm.
It is so good. And I've gotten to where I only like my scrambled eggs.
Do you have a secret?
I whip them, like whisk them, and then I put a touch of heavy whipping cream in
Mhm.
with them and salt, pepper, and then I
Mhm.
cook them with real butter.
Mm.
And I only cook them until the point that they have just
Gotten kind of
solidified. There is no brown at all. I cannot take any brown on my eggs.
Wow.
I can smell
I
it
like scrambled eggs.
immediately.
Hmm.
And I don't like it overly cooked because it turns into anyway.
Rubber.
Yeah. Maybe the silliest thing is I cannot make anything
Silly?
else really well. Well, maybe grilled cheese, but
Ooh,
I'm not
sign
kidding.
me
My
up.
egg is next level.
I love that. What am I good at? Everything that I'm good at is really important and necessary.
Hey, that's what I'm
So
talking about.
It's hard to be
Confident.
like, what's something useless I'm really good at? Because I'm
Silly,
so
maybe not
great
useless,
at
but
it.
silly.
Silly.
I just am silly. Like I don't know what's next.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not really good at grading things.
You're not good at grading.
Like I don't know what's good or what's bad. I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I mean, I know.
right.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. Pause. Hold that. Take that
Yeah,
off this
yeah,
camera. I don't know what that means. I know what. Okay. Yep. I don't like.
I'm trying to think of any secret talents I have. Everything I'm good at is like job related.
Everything I do is
Everything I do is so
I kind of
vital.
know one for Ashley.
Oh, good. I'd love to hear it.
Stop it. Tell me who I am.
Can you talk in the microphone? Can you get up to the
Okay,
microphone?
for me, one of Ashley's silliest things she does really well is that Ashley jumps into about 25 different voices all throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That is
all
actually
different,
Mhm.
like accents, low, high, speed. Like she flips into accents and people all day long. And I think it's funny.
That is funny.
It's like I feel like someone's recording us like an episode of The Office. And I think I'm like talking to a camera that's not there when my accents come out. But I don't mean to sometimes, Like I said something to Robin in a British accent. I don't know where that came from. It was like not the time to do that. And she looked at me and, what do you do next? You just keep going. It's before a meeting. Sorry, Robin.
There it is. Robin listens to the show, by the way.
She is. She is a day one fan.
We have to have Robin back on the show, see where
Robin's
she is in
so
Hamburger
sweet.
World.
I just told her and Leanna that they're incredible women. And I want my students to be like them.
Oh, wow.
You too, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Thank you, lady.
I
appreciate it.
Right. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Don't you worry.
Your words, they're morsels right
Take
to
the
my
trolley.
heart.
That's great.
So yeah, that's Ashley. I think that's one of Ashley's. What about
Yeah.
you, Justin?
I feel like I'm good at writing comments on TikTok.
Oh, what's your highest like? I have a comment.
There's so much joy that comes when like you get a
Yeah, I
comment
have a
that
high
like
comment.
that hits. You're
Let
like,
me see.
yeah, everybody agrees with me.
Wait, what's the highest? Not that it's a competition.
I mean, I don't know, but I like to make jokes and get
Mm.
people to laugh in the comments. I mean, if you get someone,
If you
to,
can
like,
get people in the comments,
comments,
laugh,
like,
I think that's
liking-
the funniest people are in the comments.
and I don't know how good I am at it, but I know it brings me a lot of joy when I do.
I think that's fun.
Like,
No,
there's just so much humor to be had about so much in our world that I'm like, I'm gonna get in these comments and say
Yeah.
something.
That's good. That's good.
I have a Helen Keller comment and it has 10.8K likes.
Wow.
Whoa.
And it's Helen Keller. That's great.
Ashley,
Wow.
that's
What an achievement. Let's go on your
A little
resume.
curiousness there.
Yeah,
But
let's not say what you said about Helen
I
Keller.
just
It
I
wasn't
know
bad. It was the dad was making a comment. It wasn't
Oh, yeah.
anything negative about her or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I know one recently that was good. There was the Houston Chronicle posted a TikTok that was talking about all the bodies being found in the
Stop it. I've been telling people that they're not knowing about it.
And they're like, people are like, oh my gosh, is there a serial killer in Houston? And the person was like, all evidence points to this not being a serial killer, there's nothing to worry about, there's no serial killer, but there are bodies being found.
Yeah.
And I just get in the comments, I said, so not one killer, but a lot of unrelated killers. Cool. Like,
Okay.
like, great.
So
How is that better?
what's more terrifying? A bunch of killers
Lots of
or one?
killers.
Yes.
One's consistent. Many we got
lots
problems.
of very disorganized
I was
killers.
like, this is not good news. Like, the good news
Either
is, yes,
way, it's
there's one person doing all of this,
Right.
not 40 different
and
people
there's like
doing
a
this.
ladybird killer in Austin.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well,
That's
it's
great.
been so good to visit with you guys today. Thanks for being here. And thank you guys for being here. We hope you've had an almost amazing time on the Almost Amazing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Almost Amazing podcast from the CityRise Network based in Houston, Texas. CityRise is a partnership of church campuses, nonprofits, and missionaries devoted to lifting our city and the world by generously giving the gospel of Jesus Christ. For more information or to find a church campus close to you in the Houston area, visit cityrise.org.